Hello, Wankers.
What's up, Bankers?
Hello, Bankers.
How you doing today, Guenther?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
Good.
Never been better. Never been better, you two, huh?
Well, I might be a little bit better had Lando Norris won that race and had McLaren backed him.
So you feel that he didn't get the support he should get, huh?
Well, I think I'm caught between a rock and a hard place because I also love.
This is only child behavior, Brian. I'm very surprised at you.
But the thing is, and if this is going to be the main thing that we discuss today, is what you said after Hungary, Guenther. You were like, if it's me from this point out, Lando gets priority, and he's going to have when push comes to shove, Oscar's going to have to, support his teammate in his path towards the championship. And now they're not doing that. There's a lot of kind of like hawks around. Nico Rosberg's calling him out. Will Buxton's calling him out. And they don't necessarily seem to be changing their tune. And this is the topic of discussion. And I'm curious. We're very curious, as a former team principal of a Formula One team, armchair team principal, if you are in that position, what are you doing? Are you in support of what's happening at McLaren, or would you be playing this a different way?
First of all, they've got a rule, the Papaya Rule, as you well know. So yes. I asked Zach Brown, what is the Papaya Rule?
Yes.
It's the rule how we do this. All right. I knew as much before as after asking him. So I still don't know what this bloody Papaya Rule is.
None of your freaking business. That's what Papaya Rules is.
Yeah.
You think Zach wants to tell me that?
That's the subtext. None of your business.
Yeah, business. It's papaya. Right. So whatever papaya is, it's the rule. But nobody knows what it is. All right.
Right.
So to your question, because the Papaya Rule doesn't seem to be working, or maybe it works. I mean, we have to wait until the end of the championship if they win it or not. If they don't win it, I think they have to change color of the Papaya Rule because it needs to be green, red, yellow, whatever, but not papaya. But anyway, back to serious matters here. So, yes, I would make a team order. How many times in life can you win 2 championships in one season? I mean, I never had the chance. Maybe I wasn't good enough. Zach could say that. He's good enough. So in a moment, when you've got the chance to win 2 championships, constructors and drivers, I think you just need to say, whatever it is, even if one guy is unhappy, I don't know, do you have to pay money? Do you have to make him promise it for next year? Whatever. In my opinion, whatever you need to do, you do, because these moments, they are not coming up often in life in Formula One. It's like, we have got the chance to hit the
lottery.
The lottery. Let's not play it because we have got a good chance. Somebody told me something. I'm not going to play it because I don't really know if I should do it.
It's a long walk to the store to get the ticket.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's a papaya. It's a papaya long way, because it's all to do with papaya,
It's a papaya distance.
It's a papaya distance.
Is that? It's a papaya amount of distance.
Everything we don't know in the moment is papaya. Yeah.
Wait, and all of their files, instead of all the controversial stuff, instead of it being blacked out, it's papaya'd out. So I guess my question is, Guenther, let's read between the lines a little bit. Let's put and you are a team principal, Guenther. You're the team principal of the Red Flags podcast.
Of the Wankers.
Of the Wankers.
Yes,
you are
the team principal. Wanker Racing.
So
That's
Wanker
right.
Racing, you are still the team principal there. So no former needs to be applied. I'm wondering, let's read between the lines a little bit. When Zach talks, it kind of seems like maybe there's a gun pointed at his head a little bit. And maybe the person holding that gun is a little bit Mark Webber. And maybe the ammunition in that gun is a little bit some kind of clause in a contract. Now, as someone who's...
You changed the clause. I think, Mark, if you sit him down, or not sit him down, because you can't sit him down, he doesn't work for you. But if he's the manager, you have a conversation. Mark is a grown-up. Obviously, nothing is for free in life. We all know that. But you need to know that. But how many world championships opportunities do you have in life? Maybe it's the only one. Maybe there is some more, but who knows? I don't.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. But if there is one more, Oscar should get it.
Do you think there's a clause there?
I mean, it could be that they're equal drivers. If it says it's equal drivers, it's equal drivers. And for sure, Mark is pointing at that one. But then you need to speak with Mark and say, hey, dude, I mean, we have got a chance. We don't want to waste it. Next year, if you have got another chance, we turn it around. And you tell that to Lando as well. You try to make a compromise, because for sure, if it is a clause, you have to get, you cannot go against the clause. Otherwise, you get a lawsuit or whatever, you know. So, but it's a good thing to be in. And Mark, having been an F1 driver, knowing how rarely these opportunities came along, you know, or come along, he's the guy which understands it. If you talk with him, but obviously, if you don't give him anything for it, if there is a clause, he will not be a happy man.
Yeah, but what happened to Mark Webber's stock once Seb Vettel won that championship, and he, who was a very accomplished, very good driver, was number 2? It just plummets your stock. So what is the amount of money that they could give Oscar to make it worth his while to be a wingman, even if it's for one season? If Lando is reigning world champion and Oscar is the guy who helped him, what does that do to Oscar's stock?
Is it? Are you able to put that thing back in the bottle? You know, if
put
you
that genie
Pandora's
back in the
box,
bottle.
Can you put the genie back in the bottle after once it's out? That's maybe what they're thinking.
Yeah, but you explain just that you work for the team, and then you try to make a deal that next year, should Papaya be again the color which is winning championships, you know, it's Oscar Piastris. We are starting fresh, and if Oscar is in a better place after 5 races, he gets a shot at the championship. You know, it's not only about money. I mean, you know, it's the money what you make now and the money you can make in the future. As you say, if you're a world champion, is something different. So you have to make it up somewhere. We can creative, but maybe Mark, Oscar have got better ideas than the 3 of us here, you know, and this is what I want for it, you know, to help. But I think it's pretty clear that Oscar cannot win the Drivers' Championship this year.
You shut your mouth. You shut it.
So you think Oscar can still?
It's mathematically possible, and he knows how to start.
Mathematically possible.
Yeah, it is mathematically possible, but is it realistic?
And he can start, and he can start a race. He can start. He knows how to start a race. But
I guess I know who you like.
No. Well, we know Nicole Piastri supports the podcast, so we have to support.
Yeah, but you don't understand. Now you piss all the Lando Norris people which watch the podcast off, you know, saying this.
We've been doing that.
We've too late.
You're trying hard. Guys, if you like Lando Norris, don't listen to these 2 wankers.
If Lando's mother watched the podcast and did a dance in our merchandise, I would support Lando too.
Now, here's the thing. There's a question as to, like, you know, there's a relationship there. There's being a team player, and then there's doing something that might be detrimental to your career. Now, listen, there's someone like Esteban Ocon.
But why is it detrimental to your career?
Well, because look at Mark Webber.
I think once you get cast in that second, it's like it can happen, like getting typecast in Hollywood. All of a sudden, oh, you're the guy that plays this part. Oh,
you're the sidekick.
You're the sidekick. You're not the leading man.
You're not the leading man. You're the funny best friend.
Right, and I think maybe the psychology of it. If I know that you never want to delve into the psychology of it, but I think as we're looking at this, Mark Webber was someone who was like, I'm a leading man, and then this young freaking, you know,
German
hairless
nerd.
wonder named Sebastian Vettel came in there and said, actually, no, I'm Leonardo DiCaprio, and you're going to be.
I want to be Leonardo DiCaprio, he said.
Right. There was a time where he maybe was like, that was his track.
Okay.
As we see with Leonardo DiCaprio, sometimes you don't age well when you're the boy wonder. Okay, so we're diverting ourselves from the thing.
Yeah, Guenther, stay focused.
I think that maybe Mark Webber has PTSD. Mark Webber was like, this happened to me. I will not let this happen to Oscar. That he's advocating that no. You will not treat Oscar like he's the sidekick. He is the main character. So treat him as such. You think that will be a difficult discussion to have if maybe that's his mentality going
in? So I have to stop you here. But if you are seen to destroy or not make it work, that McLaren wins 2 championships instead of 1, how does that go down? Is that a plus? No, you're an idiot as well, you know? So you have to calculate, and Mark knows that. So for me, as I said, Mark has been there, has done it. I respect him a lot, what he does for Oscar. I think he's advising him very well. That for Oscar came up so quick, you know, because he has got good people around him. And as I said, I think with Mark, you always can talk, I don't know. For sure, he wants something for it. If there is a parity clause in their contract. If. We don't know that one yet. And we'll never know, by the way.
But we don't know. But does Zach Brown's behavior, because there's a lot of talk, right? It's like, doesn't McLaren understand that they're blowing it? Don't they get it? Are they stupid? It's like, Zach Brown isn't an idiot. He's obviously a very smart guy. Andrea Stella can obviously do basic arithmetic. Like, people are treating McLaren like they're stupid, and the simple explanation isn't that they're stupid. The simple explanation is that there is something in the contract that we're not seeing. Is that the most likely explanation for this behavior? Or do you think they just like a racing culture there, and that's what they like?
Yeah, what else could it be?
What are the explanations for this behavior?
That they think they can win it anyway. It's simple. Sometimes the solution is simple. You see, you're disappointed now. It's too simple. You didn't get it. They think we can win it anyway, so let them fight. And if they win it by fighting the two, letting the two fight, they look great, huh?
But if they lose it letting the two fight, they look like
idiots.
Jackasses.
They look idiots.
Right.
Because the only way, and I want to get into this with you, the only way that you can let the two guys fight and win both titles, historically it seems, is if you have like a Mercedes car in the last regulation set where it's like you're so far ahead that you're like a lap or two ahead, and it doesn't matter if the guys fight. Doesn't matter if they burn their tires up. Doesn't matter if one guy spins off, he can get back on the road and they could still finish 1-2. So I guess my question is, I remember asking you, if you're in a championship leading team, do you want two drivers that are this closely matched still?
Yes.
And yes, this is a fine headache. You're going to deal with this headache every day.
Oh, yeah. This is a nice headache. I think Christian Horner would like to have this headache.
But he could have had this headache. He could have had Carlos Sainz if he wanted him. Right?
What do you know about the contract? But he didn't want it. Maybe he didn't want it. I mean, he could have, but if he doesn't like it to have this headache, he can decide.
You just said Christian Horner wanted the headache. I'm telling you that headache was there for him to have.
I don't know. Next year we need to see where the Red Bull is. It doesn't seem like that they are making a lot of advances that they will be ready for next year.
I mean, it seems. Let's get into Red Bull a little bit. By the way, this is Wanker Hours, brought to you by BetMGM. We got right into it. It was a little bit, we got a lot of stuff that's on the plate. We just had to get right into it. We're going to be talking about everything going on around Formula One. Obviously, we covered Papaya Rules. We'll be getting more into that. We're going to get into Leclerc's win, KMag's race ban, Nico Rosberg being a legend, Rockstar Wanker, fan questions, predictions for Baku, all that good stuff. But, I think looking now at the Perez situation, I think maybe Red Bull has known for a minute that they're not winning this Constructors Championship. That's just out of the question at this point. So maybe that was an aspect of that calculation, because we were like, oh, well, they have to bring in someone if they have a shot at the Constructors. But now it's looking like they have no shot. But I know, Guenther, you believe in the swings that can happen here. Do you think that Red Bull is totally lost for this season, or do you think that there's a chance where they can bring some type of upgrade and get back to the front?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they were a little bit under where they should be, underperforming in Monza. I mean, Max said they didn't have a special, or they didn't have a Monza package, spec here. They didn't develop one. And I think that came out of, when you start to think about the Monza spec is beginning of the year, developing it, and they said, oh, our car is anyway good enough. We don't need a Monza spec, let's put the effort into other things. And then here you are, you needed a Monza spec because everybody else brought quite a big package for it, Everybody else put a lot of effort in to bring one. I think Red Bull were the only ones not bringing one, and that's obviously was not what they wanted, but it was too late to change their mind, or too late to develop something. So that is where they ended up.
Now, at the end of the race, after the race, Max was saying that they, what changes could be made to the car in order to improve it. And he said, we need an entirely new package. We need an entirely new car. If you're in Christian Horner's seat, what strategy, if there are two roads in front of you, one road is you just damage limitation, you work with the package you have, and you just try to get as high towards the podium as you can and hope that McLarens continue to fight at the front and not win races. And you squeeze out this one last championship for Max. Or do you take a risky, radical approach, bring some type of new package if there's budget for that? Let's pretend like there is budget for that. But the risk is maybe you're all of a sudden you're in 10th, 11th place as opposed to 8th. What do you think what path are you taking there?
I think for this year, what Max means with that, the concept they've got on the car now, with just making changes on this concept, they cannot get there. So he's saying, with this concept, we are at a dead end. We try to do a package, but it doesn't bring performance. Whatever we do doesn't work anymore. We need to make changes to the car, which we cannot do on this car anymore. We need to put a new concept in place for next year, for example, So I think that's where he's hinting at. So whatever you put on now, you can make it a little bit better. But I do not think that on this car, which they've got now, any upgrade package will make the big change. It's something similar. Like,
and you can't pivot. You can't pivot at this point.
No, it's too late.
Yeah,
it's too late. I mean, it's too late. Until you develop it and produce it, after Abu Dhabi, no point. The thing they have to decide now is like, do we do something big for this year still? And do we have money under the budget cap still to do something we can do on this car? Take a risk. Maybe it doesn't work again, like a few packages they had, or let's say we squeeze out from the packages because they swap around between packages at the races depending at the track layout. Let's continue to do this and focus on next year so we are back to our strength because that will take money as well. The money you spend for next year is going into this year's budget. So I don't know. They know what they tried and what worked and what didn't work.
Do you have a sense of what that is? Like, what is wrong with the Red Bull car? Like, where is it losing compared to the others?
I think whatever they put on, it doesn't work like in the wind tunnel. I think in the wind tunnel they find gains, and that is with this car. They're not the only ones having this problem. It's a few other ones which are having these problems. You go in the wind tunnel, you find, we got 10 more points of downforce, Then you put it on the car, but you cannot use them because the car is not drivable, and the car actually goes slower.
Brian, why don't you ask me what I would do if I was Christian Horner?
Matt, what would you do if you were Christian Horner?
I'm very glad you asked that, Brian. I would take Oscar Piastri out to dinner as many times as I could and be like, wow, you are such a talent. I really think you can take it to Lando. And I think this championship is wide open for you. I would hire Tony Robbins to come to his hotel room every night, give him motivational speeches. I would send him the Communist Manifesto saying that we're all proletariats, all equal, working men are all equal. I would send him The Rights of Man by Thomas Paine.
All papaya.
They're all papaya.
Yes.
I would remind him that every man is equal under the eyes of God, and to play favorites is basically idol worship. Unethical and right. Tantamount to idol worship. And I would remind Oscar Piastri of that every single fucking day. That's what I'd be doing if I was Christian Horner.
And you think he would go out every single night with Christian Horner? How exciting is that for a 20-something year old?
I don't know. You've been out with Christian Horner. You tell me.
I mean, I wouldn't go out with him every night, So I don't know if it maybe
who's the best night out with to have a night out with?
For me, I think it's Mattia because we drink wine, and then forget what we did,
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, what other thoughts do you have on the Lando Oscar McLaren situation, Guenther?
For me, is who else can win the championship? Constructors, because I think Ferrari is now in with a shot.
Oh,
Constructors, not drivers.
Sure.
Yeah, but constructors, they're not far out as well. It's getting tight there.
You really think Ferrari has a shot?
Yeah, I mean, as much as they don't believe, but this year so many things changes and go around. Who would have ever thought this will happen? And the Ferrari, if you look at the race pace, the thing is not bad. Look in Zandvoort. Obviously, to win, they had to use the strategy in Monza, but they used it. I mean, they took the risk. And so I think they have got a shot at it as well at the constructors.
What's happening with them on qualifying pace though? It seems like they got the race pace.
Yeah, they got the race pace. And where do you make the points?
Yeah. Vegas, as you know, we are teamed up with BetMGM this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we'll have special offers for our listeners each week. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code DADDY and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You download the BetMGM app, you sign up using the bonus code DADDY, deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game. You will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure that you use the bonus code DADDY when you sign up. Vegas this season has been amazing. We don't know who's going to win any week. And if you're going to make a bet, make sure that you do it with BetMGM. Don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code DADDY and get your first $1,500 first bet offer today. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and over. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY for New York. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona. 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. 1-800-BETS-OFF for Indiana. 1-800-981-0023 for Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code DADDY and get your $1,500 first bet offer today. Now back to the show.
It seems like So it seems like when you have qualifying pace and no race pace, like your Haas car did, that's a problem with tire wear usually.
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem with tire wear. Yeah.
But when you have race pace but not qualifying pace, what is that a problem with? What is that indicative of?
You're not switching the tires on at the right moment in qualifying, or you cannot get there. You don't work the tires as much as the other ones, so you don't get the max peak performance out of them in qualifying. Could easily be, but then in the race. They stay together longer.
Right.
That's such a tough balance to strike, huh?
Yeah. And sometimes it just happens. You don't decide the balance. What is, you just are faced with the consequences. You design a car and one is good in qualifying and shit in race, you know, and another one is the opposite way. But to design that one into a car, I don't think there's, anybody smart enough to do that one in F1 yet.
Yeah. Well, it also seems like Ferrari they've had good results on street tracks. We've got a few street tracks coming up. We've got Baku coming up. Yeah. We've got Vegas,
Singapore.
Singapore. It seems like they're pretty confident that they're going to be very strong in Singapore. Yeah. Last year they were the second strongest team in Vegas. So we're certainly getting out of a period where maybe they were a little bit weaker in some of these, high-speed corner, purpose-built tracks, that it's actually maybe playing a little bit more into Ferrari's hand. Currently, the standings are Red Bull has 446 points, McLaren 438, Ferrari 407.
So now, it's possible.
I think it's possible. I think they'll definitely clear Red Bull if their form stays up. It's just a matter of whether they can get in with McLaren. Now over there seems to be a pretty clear division of importance there. 1 and 2 there. They've made that decision. There isn't as much of a struggle internally. And right now it seems like that's the thing that is standing in McLaren's way, because, how much do you subscribe? We can get into this race a little bit, that in their allowing the two guys to fight, that they actually potentially threw away the win.
Yeah. Leclerc
with
going
Charles,
in the mid,
Charles getting by,
splitting them,
that extra bit of time that they got there, and with them fighting, putting in
at
fast laps, maybe destroying their tires so that they couldn't do the one stop. Do you subscribe to all those things?
I subscribe 2 years for that.
Yeah,
send you the money. Yeah.
because what was interesting is, yes, Leclerc got by Lando at the start. But then they undercut Leclerc, so they were in decent shape, but it seemed like they just kept setting fastest laps because neither wanted to be in that Hungary position, and that was kind of made it.
I think they were, in their mind, they were sure that the Ferrari is coming in for a second stop. I think that's what they tried. I think they didn't even. I said that as a option to do a one stop, because otherwise they wouldn't have come in this early.
Right.
You stay out a little bit longer and you see what other people do on the hard tire, how long it lasts. So I think in their opinion, they had to do 2 stops. They couldn't survive on one.
You think it's kind of irrelevant that Oscar and Lando were kind of out ahead in that first stint after that first change?
No. I think it destroyed the race as well, because if they would have let Lando go, Oscar to follow, try to hold up Leclerc a little bit, they could have won the race. A lot better than fighting between them and then undercutting the other one, and it got messy. Because if you're out 1-2, you're in control of the race. You let one go, you even try the other one to block a little bit, so one can go with a pit stop with some margin, and when he comes out, he's in front. So, but I think that didn't happen because they fought and Charles sneaked by. That's what happened. But the papaya rule overrules everything, so that's what happened. It's all about papaya.
So, as an Italian, what does it mean to you to watch Ferrari win at Monza? Explain that to us idiot Americans. What it means to be an Italian and to see a Ferrari cross the finish line first.
I think it's like the national team there. I think in F1 it's the only team which is like a national team. It's Ferrari. All the other ones could be sitting anywhere, in my opinion, Yeah. It's like a Mercedes. Yeah, it's German, but the factory is in England. So it's a global team because it's so global, the sport. The only team which has got a national character is Ferrari. I almost said Italy. It's Ferrari, Yeah. And obviously when they win in Monza, I mean, you saw the amount of people going on to the prize giving, to the podium, it's like they're just happy. It just makes them happy. It's like the Italian football team winning the world championship, Ferrari winning in Monza.
Did it make you happy, Guenther?
Yeah. What about you, Guenther?
It made me happy because I'm happy for Ferrari. I'm happy for the championship, but I wasn't out there cheering with all the other ones. I had to work, So
we saw your Instagram story. You were in there cutting it up a little bit.
Yeah, but I took a picture from far away. I couldn't go under it, so I was not allowed under there,
I know that when you said that when someone you looked up to in racing that your favorite driver was Niki Lauda. Did you have an era of Niki's time that you most identified? Was it his time at Ferrari or was it other eras of time? Was it the Ferrari years?
With the what was the car? T4, I think, that nice car, the cool car. I think it was the Ferrari T4.
It was a T4.
Yes, of course, we know that. Yes. Sounds right with the 8-cylinder.
Might have been the T3, but I think you're right there with the T4.
And it was red.
Yeah,
it was red.
Apparently, when a child draws a race car, he draws it red.
Yes.
Okay, what else from this weekend? Okay, before we move on to other stuff, there's one last piece here. With regards to papaya, with regards to everything that's happening there.
I cannot hear the word and see the color papaya anymore after being with you half an hour. As almost saying.
It's like the Godfather with the orange. It's just bad. It's a bad omen at this point.
They did choose to hard launch that this weekend and they thought it was gonna everyone thought that they ate, but there was papaya crumbs left. The other piece of this puzzle, what people are saying is hey, if Lando wants to win this championship, then hey, you've got one thing. Go beat your fucking teammate, Lando. That's kind of another attitude here. And we've talked about Lando's starts. Then all of a sudden he has this long straight. He nails turn 1, but then he gets overtaken in turn 2. Now maybe he wasn't expecting it, but everything Oscar was saying that no, we're both number 1 drivers. This was the sound bites coming out from them. And I guess we were talking on our other pod about sometimes you want it to feel like someone's winning the championship. And right now, does it feel like Lando deserves the championship given everything that's happening?
It's actually a good question. I have to think about this one. Jesus.
You seem surprised that Brian asked a good question.
Oh, very surprised.
Hey, listen, a broken clock's right 3 times a day, okay? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't know if it is, but if you ask, it's like, no, it's not obvious thing. He deserves to win it. No, I mean, he needs to fight for it. But what was strange to me as well? It's like Oscar overtakes him. There is never a bad reaction or an emotional reaction from Lando. It's never. Mm-hmm. I would go on the radio, and say, what the fuck is this all about,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not in that voice. It would be a little bit louder than that.
Yeah. Sure.
But it's like, it's all right. Here we are again. I tried to win a championship for McLaren, obviously for me as well. But I mean, keep that in the background when you talk. What is the team doing with me? We're trying to win this championship. No, it's actually me which I want to win it, but I give it to you now so I can win it. But that is playing. He never plays this game, and I don't know. It's he beats himself up a lot. I think we need to tell him to grow bigger balls, huh?
That would be your advice if you were going to sit him down.
It's like, dude. I mean, we cannot just playing it out all politically. With papaya rules or whatever. You need to fight for it as well.
Right.
Fight harder. It's like he gave back when they switched them. He gave back the victory. I do not know many drivers which should have done that, in my opinion.
Right.
I mean, and that makes him a good human being. I mean, I'm not critiquing that he's not, but is it the right attitude to win a championship? Going back to your very smart question, Brian.
But like, if you look back at the history, like how many drivers have been in a title fight that have just been kind of sort of throwing away opportunities like this? Can you think of back? Oh,
no,
you can't. Have you ever? Because the closest thing I could think of was, and in my illustrious history of watching F1, it was Braun when they turned off the money, and it was just like, can anybody catch them? This is sort of what it feels like. I know Red Bull's in a different.
It feels like it's a reverse of that. It is that.
It is Braun. It's like Braun started out hot, but he wound up holding on.
Right. Max might be, Button in this case.
But who was chasing Button in that year?
Vettel. Yeah.
But Vettel was Vettel. Did Vettel leave any points on the table like this? Did Vettel blow anything quite like this?
No, Vettel started like kicking ass. And started like
but he was a different team, so you cannot compare it with it's like Vettel was in the Red Bull the Red Bull at the time, so you can't really compare. But I don't think anybody was there in this. But you know what? I was just thinking about the future. If in 3 months, I think it's about 3 months, the championship is finished, Lando wins it, proves us wrong that this was we have to elect us three as the wankers of the week. Because we got it all wrong.
No.
Because we will find an excuse.
I've been on the land. I'm a Lando stan. I'm on the Lando. I think that there's a lot of season left. We've got 8 races left. There's a lot of time here.
Everybody, the wankers of the week, because everyone was saying, "What is McLaren doing?" Everybody. Here's the crazy thing: is everybody's like, "Why don't they do team orders?" And then if they did do team orders, we'd be like, "Oh crap, we hate team orders." Everybody, it's so boring.
I wouldn't. No, not everybody. I wouldn't say that. That is what you have to wait. I go back to my principle. How many times in your lifetime have you got the chance to win a world championship? Not many.
When's the last McLaren World Championship? 2008.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys were barely born in 2008.
Yeah.
These two drivers.
Now they got the chance, and we cannot decide who is number 1, who is number 2, who is overtaking whom. No. I stick to that one. We need to tell Zach, fuck the papaya rule. Go and win the championship.
The papaya rule is win both championships.
Yeah, that's the papaya rule.
Okay.
All right.
And it's time for and there's 2 things need to happen. Lando needs to go out and also take this thing. Lando needs to go out. And
he needs to help himself. He needs to help himself as well. Yeah.
And advocate for, honestly, therapy speak, you have to advocate for yourself. And you have to be your own biggest supporter.
And you have to set firm boundaries.
And you have to set
when
firm
Oscar
boundaries.
tries to cross those boundaries, you need to set the firm boundaries. Oscar not respecting Lando's.
Oscar understands boundaries.
Oscar sets firm boundaries. He set very firm boundaries on George Russell at that start. He's like, these are my boundaries. Right. You're going off the track now into the baller.
Lando needs to put Oscar back in the box.
Yeah.
Heard it from you heard it from Guenther's mouth. I got a nickname for you, Guenther. Gusto.
That sounds like some fucking pasta brand.
Hey, are we launching that now?
Yeah. Gusto pasta.
Gusto pasta.
Guenther's Gusto.
So, Guenther's Gusto pasta.
Guenther's Gusto pasta. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit. What else? What should we talk? Kimi Antonelli, it's official.
Yeah,
it's happening.
But yeah,
he's going to Mercedes.
How long are we saying it for? That he's going to about 2 months. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like, why did we need, well, they were waiting for this weekend, right? That seemed to be, maybe it's like, oh, this would be great.
Yeah, he'll wait until he crashes a car and then announce it. Yeah.
Let's wait 2 months until he crashes a car and then we'll
announce him. Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's right.
I mean, actually, we need to compliment the PR department for Mercedes.
Yeah. Yeah. What a
big shout out to Bradley Lord. I hope he listens. Bradley, this was the perfect strategy.
You crushed it.
You got it, man. Yeah, you crushed it.
Stuck the landing, Simone Biles, 10 out of 10.
So I guess my question to you, Guenther, is what is going on with Toto's obsession with Antonelli? Can you explain that to us?
Again, I don't know, but I think he missed out on Max and wanted to create his own little Maxi. And that's Kimi.
Right.
Why is he so upset about the Max thing? Because like seemingly this would have been in 2014.
Yeah, Max and Lewis being on the same team, that would have been great. That would have been awesome.
It would have gone well, Max and Lewis. I mean, he won so many championships with Lewis, and he's still like hung up that he didn't get Max.
But he lost one against Max.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So that undoes all the 7 that he wins with Lewis.
Do you think Max would have been a bigger or smaller problem than Nico Rosberg?
I would think a bigger one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the headache that he had with Nico would have been exponentially bigger.
Right.
But maybe, I'm just thinking, you ask, why is he so hung up on Kimi? Maybe he went to therapy and the therapist told him, you need to find something which makes you happy that you get over having lost Max. You need to grow your own Max.
I'm sure the therapist goes, you need to project all your feelings onto a child, onto another child. That's exactly what the therapist
that sounds like a good therapist to me. I need to get Toto's therapist if that's the case. So that seems to be what it is. Now here's the thing. He's putting all of that attention onto Kimi. Kimi's jumping straight to the Mercedes seat. George Russell, who was hoping to maybe be number one boy in Toto's eyes, had to toil away at Williams, knocking on Toto's door every year, being like, "Hey, can you let me into the big house?"
I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still at the back, but I'm still here. You know,
the Siberia that is Williams. So
how long do you think the leash is? You know, it's like there's hot prospects in sport. There's hot prospects in these games. If Kimi, like, how many years do you think Kimi has? Like, let's say next year George goes out and dominates Kimi. Let's say the second year he goes out, says the same thing.
Then he's done.
Then he's done.
Second year?
Yeah. The first year you need to give the guy, dominates, but depends also how he stacks up against the other ones. I think if you compare him with his teammate in 26, he needs to be good. Otherwise, there's no future, I'm pretty sure. You know, Mercedes needs to win. Mercedes is not here to take part or to make a car for Kimi Antonelli because Toto loves him, you know. It's like he needs to come up with the goods, and the goods are results, and the result is to beat your teammate.
But do you think if that's the case, when he finally does arrive, it's 2 years. That's it. He's got 2 years to prove himself. Do you think he should be rubber stamping him? Okay, let's skip him to F2. Let's see how he does in F2. Oh, he does good. Not great. Like, he's beating Ollie Behrman, which is impressive. But, Prema, it's not his fault that Prema's struggling this year. Wow, I know all my F2.
No. I'm getting speaceless. You know, all the F2 teams, all what's going on in F2.
Yes,
that's right. What are you doing? What are you doing at night, studying F2? Because during the day you're doing F1.
I'm like Antonelli, who memorizes all the lap times. He's actually a savant at that. So you're rushing him through F2. Then you're like, let's give him a free practice. What's the number one rule? What was probably the first thing you tell a F2 guy that's taking over your car? What's
Don't
the first?
Crash it.
Don't crash.
I'd explain you also why I explain them, because if you crash it, you will be remembered as the guy, bracket open, idiot, bracket closed, which crashed the car in his first FP1. If you finish second last, third last, fifth last, 11th in FP1, nobody really cares. Everybody will have forgotten where you finished because nobody cares FP1 where you finish. So don't crash this because everybody will remember it.
You say that to every guy that's gotten in, every rookie that's gotten in your car.
Yeah. Don't crash it.
And he broke the one rule.
Because I didn't speak with him, you see.
But do you think, I don't think Toto said that to him. I think Toto said, like, or do you think that Toto said, hey, just don't crash? Or it seemed like he was pushing. He was pushing.
If Toto said don't crash and he crashed, that's worse. But I think Toto said, you're the chosen one. Make me look good. Go have fun out there.
Yeah, but you can have fun without crashing, you know?
So do you think this is a knock on him, or do you think there's a part of me that feels like there's something kind of cool about this, that he found that he was pushed it over the limit, 18 years old, first FP1, skipped F3. There's something about it that kind of there's.
But as long as it is stupid, you find everything cool, you know. So,
well, often things that are stupid are cool. You heard of AC/DC, the Rolling Stones? Fucking, this is what, you know, these guys were just like, this is what being cool.
That was more like
Jackass.
That was more like Kiss, you know.
Johnny Knoxville, Kiss. You think Kiss is smart?
Smart?
Things that are stupid are often cool.
Wait,
what are nerds?
So Kimi is cool.
What are nerds? They're smart.
Yeah, but they're not cool.
Exactly.
No.
But I guess my question is it's giving like a kid that's never disciplined and gets to just fucking trash the whole house.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we shouldn't overthinking. For sure, he didn't go out there to crash, you know. Yeah. But it happened. He was. Yeah. And can you imagine how he felt when he crashed?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. He will remember that moment a lot more than we do it, you know.
Yeah. Welcome to the big leagues.
Yeah.
But because the truth is Toto's acting all magnanimous. I love you. But you're telling us no. He's got 2 years. It's not actually that much leash.
Yeah, but they still love. But I mean, he loves him for a reason. Toto thinks or he knows how good the kid is. I mean, you know, they invest a lot of money, so therefore, I mean, he doesn't think that the guy cannot make it more than 2 years.
Well, there's talk of that maybe there's talk that Max is maybe going to be potentially in this Mercedes seat. That right now neither of these guys are signed up in 26. That this contract, that given what's happening at Red Bull, that there is a world where maybe Toto can have the best of both worlds, where he can get Kimi and Max. How likely do you see that as being the case?
I think there's a good chance of that happen. Honestly, I think it's a good chance of this happening. You know, I mean, we all know that Max always wanted to go to Mercedes. I think Max in the moment is not very happy where he is. Max will have a lot of information where the Red Bull engine program is next year. Max will have a lot of information where the Mercedes engine program is next year. You know, if Toto tries to lure him there, and then he can make a decision. Not on hope. I hope this engine is good, you know, the powertrain. Right. I know that the Mercedes is better than the Red Bull Ford engine. Let's go there if I can.
How do you know how good the engine's going to be in advance?
Yeah, how do you know that?
I think you've got something to compare, and Max will have some information from Red Bull. Red Bull will need to give him information, you know, to try to convince him to stay there. So you need to give it. On the other side, Mercedes will do the same. They will try to tell Max our engine is doing this, that, and the other. So he will have something to compare. Otherwise, as you say, nobody else has got that information, but Max can get there. You know.
But is it like dating profiles? Like I say I'm 6'4", but really I'm closer to 6'1"?
No, you're more like 5'6". But anyway. So.
But you know what I'm saying, though, right? I mean, can you trust a piece of paper that says?
But these guys have got insight. They've got people, you know, they can check with. I mean, there's hundreds of people working. So what you do there, once you're on the inside, you sneak around. And obviously, the Verstappens are in racing a long time. You know, they know how to do this stuff. You know, they are not sending an email asking about that. They're going around and, you know, asking people and listening to people and come to a conclusion. And then they will decide.
And if you had to bet, on which engine is going to come out on top? Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull.
And Renault.
Red Bull and Red Bull and Honda.
And Honda.
And Audi.
And Audi.
And Audi.
I think the two strongest one will be Mercedes and Ferrari. It's just the experience these guys have got, and experience is the most important thing when you do such a thing, Otherwise, another one can do a good job, but you need also an element of luck to it to hit it right. I mean, Red Bull took a lot of people from Mercedes or from the engine program. So they've got a good base there of people, but still the processes, everything at Mercedes, they're there since years. The same goes for Ferrari. The structure, everything is there. They didn't have to build up. They didn't have to spend energy to making them happen. They're there. So they just have to use what they've got, while the other ones need to build up all the underlying. It's a big job to do all the underlying. I mean, Audi started from nothing. Red Bull started from nothing. I think Red Bull started a little bit before Audi with an engine. I mean, Honda is in a good place as well, but Honda, you don't really know. They are far away.
So are you saying that George Russell might be screwed?
Yes. Could be screwed. Not might be. Could be screwed, Could be screwed, But I think he's aware of this, and the only one to prove his worth is by having the results against Kimi Antonelli.
Right.
The guy which crashed in FP1.
But he only has 1 year to prove it, which is not enough. He beats a rookie. It's not
right.
Yeah, but it's also how you beat a rookie. If you dominate him, like at some stage, as much as Toto loves Kimi, if he doesn't deliver, I think the love is over pretty quick. Because
it's conditional love.
Yeah, it's conditional. It is conditional on your performance.
Right.
I love you as much as you perform.
It's really sad.
Yeah. We all went very quiet,
Well, talk about there's some other rookie news of people perform. What did you think of Franco Colapinto's first foray into F1?
I think he did good. It's like he did good. Qualifying was not, fantastic, but he didn't throw it in the wall. He saved it. Wasn't last. And in the race, I think he performed pretty good in the race for where he started. There was not much more to be done with that car. So I think for a rookie, he didn't do bad.
All right. Well, we got some more news to cover, but before we do that, I think maybe we've hit our Monza limit. Why don't we do Rockstar and Wanker for Monza, brought to you by Cash App? Guenther, who was your Rockstar for Monza?
I think that's pretty clear. It's Charles Leclerc. What he did, staying out there, delivering, still going fast with used tires. He was like, he was given an opportunity. He took it. Man, he didn't mess around, He didn't mess around.
Yeah, the people sometimes discount. There's a talk about his tire maintaining abilities, and sometimes people don't view that. They think of him as the one lap specialist. That's his rap. But this is showing that there's a lot more to him than the one lap pace.
Correct. He showed it all. Right.
Yeah. All right. Who's your wanker for Monza?
Who's our wanker for Monza? We could say Red Bull for really under-delivering, How many times were they already wanker of the week, Not many, So,
Not many. It's been a long time.
We have to give it to them. They were in a position beginning of the year, and they keep on going backward, making bad decisions, No upgrade, not upgrade, no specific aero kit for
package.
Monza.
Yep.
It's almost arrogance, So let's vote for Red Bull.
Red Bull, okay. Yeah, it seems like Max, Checo is struggling. And now
Checo is struggling all the time.
I know, but now it seems like, but now Max is struggling. And in the beginning, we were talking about Max is pulling out these performances,
Magic,
outperforming the car. And as they've had to kind of continue to raise their performance or try to make these improvements, maybe the flaws of the car are coming out more. Like if you have a little shake in the thing, the faster you go, the bigger that rattle is going to be. And maybe that's what's happening over there now.
He's on his back foot, So he makes mistakes. It's normal, When you're under pressure, that's what happens.
Yeah, they messed up a pit stop. They never mess up pit stops.
Normally, they never mess up a pit stop.
Yeah.
Wankers of the week.
Wankers of the week. Red Bull. Vankas, not only does Cash App sponsor our favorite perfectly branded Formula One team, but they also make it easier for you to save money so you can do things that you love, like going to an F1 race. Boobies. Listen, to be honest, we thought that Cash App was just a way to send people money, right? You just send people money. Hey, Cash App me. Okay, I got you. But actually, it's a faster and simpler way to bank. You can start saving with as little as $1 with no hidden fees, no minimum balance requirements, and no account fees. Minimum balance requirements is crazy. It's just like, let me live. And Cash App lets you do that. And we all know that overdraft fees make no sense. Why are you charging someone if they don't have any money? Plus, when you deposit $300 or more in paychecks, you can get up to $50 in free overdraft coverage. It pays to get paid on Cash App. So go download the app today. Now back to the show.
Do you think Newey leaving has something to do with this drop in performance? Coincidence?
It is not helping, I would say. Is it the reason? I don't know exactly how long Newey is not involved in it anymore. For sure, since the beginning of the year, I think he was starting to get a little bit annoyed with all the situations there. So while we are speaking about Newey, we can go over. I told you since a while that he will be going to Aston Martin. So you guys never believed me because you with your Ferrari hat on always wanted him there, Matt. So you got that one wrong. I mean,
we're gonna start keeping score. Let's do that. Okay.
Yeah, you're up for it.
So it's all but official that this Aston thing, right?
Yeah, it looks like. I mean,
kind of like Kimi Antonelli to Mercedes.
Yeah, exactly. They're saying it's to me. Yeah, it's just a question. Yeah, but maybe Adrian doesn't crash an Aston Martin before he goes there. So.
Well, doesn't he like racing old cars? So it's possible.
That's possible. Yeah, maybe he gets an old Aston Martin from Lawrence Stroll's collection and crashes it, and then we announce him.
How many cars do you think Lawrence would let him crash? Probably all of them.
All of them
to sign.
Yeah,
to sign
just to have him. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of someone who likes to crash, want to talk about what did you think of your former employees? Penalty race ban, Kevin Magnussen.
I think he knew what was coming on. I think he's pretty happy. He's got a long weekend, He's out of the seat anyway, end of the year. He's not going to win a lot of things in Baku. So he stays at home, gets paid and, stays in Denmark. Nice time to be in Denmark. Not too cold yet. Not too hot, So.
You think he's treating this like a paid vacation?
Well, I mean, you can, Yeah. It's Kevin.
That's how you
It's
would.
Kevin. What does that mean? It's Kevin.
Can you?
I want to dig a little deep. He's chilled out.
He's chilled out about these things. I saw him when he was leaving. I told him, "Hey, you can have a 2-week holiday now," and he laughed at it. So he didn't seem upset about it. Well, all right, then, Kevin.
So you feel like you hit something true there when you commented on the holiday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I kind of a little bit of a rest. He had 2 races. He had the summer holiday, 2 races, a little bit of rest.
Does he get paid during that suspension?
I would think so. I was thinking that once because some of the points he collected for the team, in the beginning of the year when he held up, I don't know which race it was for sure. Brian knows. He knows everything, So which race? It was the first one where he held up, I don't know who, to get Nico to score.
Miami. I don't know if that's right.
You're right. You're absolutely right. When
was
he went
right?
over, it
was Miami, right?
I see it again in front of me. Yeah,
let's go, dude.
You're the best, man.
Yes.
Yeah. So he held him up there. He got some penalty points there, and it was clearly a team order. So I think he should get paid. I would pay him.
What do you think? You think Behrman's coming in for that? It would make sense, right?
Yeah. Who do you think? Who did you think before? Monza was driving the Mercedes.
I think everybody thought Kimi, right? That was the word on the street.
I think everybody thinks it's Ollie Behrman is driving. It's the obvious choice. I mean, he drove an F1 race already. He's doing FP1s. So I think it's. I mean, I cannot say, but
if you're Ollie Behrman, do you want this drive? You've already got the seat. You can only go backwards from here. With this drive, you can only make them regret their decision.
You're right.
Because you had that one great drive.
Oh, Matt, I'm impressed by your thinking.
You could
By your strategic thinking.
Like, think about this. Nick DeVries got that one great race in Monza, left, got the job. Got a job.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if he had like 2 or 3 more races? You think he would have gotten that job?
No.
Exactly. I think
but he has got the job anyway, Matt. So I think he signed anyway. So, whatever happens, he has got the job. So at least he can do some training. And it's good for the team as well. If you think you put him in there, see how he does. You get to know each other. So I think it's.
But if you're Io, you sign this guy and you're like, he's where in the F2 championship or team principals, they don't care about the F2 championships anymore.
Yeah, but he will not win the F2 championship. He hasn't got a chance of that one. So
I know, but he's losing to his teammate.
Yeah, I think they're over that one. When that happens, you don't speak about it. It's F2, complete different thing,
Okay.
Do we have any more info or say or thoughts on who's going to take that second Audi seat?
No, I getting closer and closer to think it's Bottas. I'm still not, I couldn't say it with confidence, but I'm getting closer and closer to think because it makes sense, for the team. They're obviously not in a good spot. They are half a second slower than the second slowest car,
Yeah.
So, at least you put Bottas in. He knows the team. Everybody knows him. He won F1 races, which is good to have as well. Somebody who won F1 races in a works team like Audi. He has got experience. He just needs motivation, in my opinion. And the motivation will come from Nico. If Nico is,
right,
standing up behind the wheel as he normally does, that will motivate the other guy to perform as well. But in the moment, that motivation is a little bit gone. His teammate is not challenging him. The car is pretty crap, so.
Right. And you're not a manufacturer.
What do you mean by standing up behind the wheel?
Going fast, putting a lot of effort in, That's what you call it in racing. You stand up behind the wheel,
Just feels like a silly thing to do.
Something stupid to do.
Yeah.
But if it is stupid, it's cool. It's cool,
right.
That would provide a lot of drag, I would think.
Right. It feels like it would slow you down.
But it's cool.
But it's cool. But you don't actually do it. You have to. You have no imagination. And I thought you're a writer. I thought you're a writer. You need to have
unless I'm talking to you and I take everything you say literally because it's like gospel.
It's gospel.
At face value.
Well, what is Nico like in the locker room, in the garage, in the briefings? What's his energy? What kind of energy is he bringing?
Good one. He's pretty cool. He's pretty relaxed about things until it all goes wrong, and then he gets unhappy. A grumpy German. You know how they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there were some talks maybe of Bortoleto. Bortoletto's having a great F2 season. His first year in F2. He's 19 years old. Listen, we've got a fresh. There's going to be a bunch of new blood on the F1 grid next year.
Bortoleto won F3 last year, huh?
He won F3 last year. Might win F. It seems like he's going to win F2 this year. He had an unbelievable performance this past weekend.
So Matt, just to explain you. The people which win F3, F2 in their first season, normally are champions. Look at that. Oscar Piastri.
Yes.
George Russell, I think, won it as well.
Leclerc.
Yeah.
Hamilton, Rosberg.
Yeah.
One season, win it. Move on, win it. That normally is that's good on your resume,
So if you think if Bortoleto, because it's in his first year, Hadjar is currently up there, but it's not his first year in F2. So if Bortoleto can pull this out, you think that maybe if teams aren't giving him that look, that if he does that first year in both, that he'll have that.
He has got a chance, but what color was he dressed in, or is he dressed in?
Orange.
No, papaya.
No,
Papaya again.
Yes. Title of episode. Papaya.
Yeah. You just speak about papaya.
We were speaking about Nico earlier. I want to talk to you about another Nico. He's talking a lot of crap about Alpine being for sale.
This is Nico Rosberg.
Yeah, a lot of people jump to the conclusion is up for sale. I think it's not up for sale, but in the end, how do you say in the States? Everything is up for sale. Depends on the money,
Right.
That's right.
That's right.
Everything has its price.
Everything has its price. There's nothing not for sale.
So you're calling Nico Rosberg a liar? What's happening?
No. Not a liar.
He's just an American
illusionist.
guy.
Illusionist.
Yeah, illusionist, yeah.
Okay.
So because he said also that he was asked to buy into it, but that maybe was on the first round when they
brought in Travis Kelce and all those people.
Yeah, all these people. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe he's a celebrity as well, so maybe they ask him as well if he wants to put a few million into it. Could be.
Right.
But I don't think short term they are for sale.
Okay. We got to get our guy Flavio on the pod and grill him about it.
Flavio,
tell us the truth.
Ask him. Tell us the truth. Ask him about how he's going to break this strike.
Alpine is not for sale.
That's what he'll say.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some fan questions.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one from Stacy Bulski. Guenther, what's your go-to airplane movie?
Go-to airplane movie. I normally just watch the screen, as you well know.
He raw dogs.
I know.
But what do you call it? I need to make a post about that one because I go back that way. So I film myself and put it on.
On Instagram.
It's called raw dogging a flight. It's where you just watch
road dogging. Okay, I got it. Yeah. Sorry.
Yes,
and that's what that's called.
What is my go-to movie?
I
don't have one.
Yeah, what's your favorite comedy? What's your favorite movie?
Pulp Fiction is my favorite movie, but I haven't watched it since a while.
Okay.
You know what I like to watch? Westerns as well.
What's your favorite westerns?
I don't remember the titles. I watch any western. I mean,
you like the spaghetti westerns?
No, more the American ones.
Okay.
I mean, I like also. What's
you Clint Eastwood guy? You like Clint Eastwood?
Yeah, but also that from Tarantino. What was that one called? The western he did?
Oh, that
Django.
Well,
Django Unchained. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I like.
You're
that.
a Tarantino guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he comes up with the weirdest Tarantino and the Coen brothers.
Yes.
What is that one called from the guy in New Mexico from the Coen brothers? You guys are movie guys.
No Country for Old Men?
That's right, yeah.
You like that one?
That's cool as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Western
you a Big
guy.
Lebowski guy? Do you like the Big Lebowski?
Yeah, I like the Big Lebowski. Yeah. The guy's so fucking funny. I mean, the guy's fucked up,
Yeah.
Do you like a White Russian? Do you drink a White Russian every now and again?
No, I never.
No Russians for Guenther.
After the Mazepins, there's no more White
No
Russians.
Russians, no more. The world doesn't exist anymore. The country doesn't exist anymore. Nothing.
That's right. What about TV shows? Any favorite TV shows?
I watch very little TV.
You don't watch TV?
No, I don't.
He's
watch
just
that.
stars in them.
Yeah,
that's right.
Roll dogging them. Just black screen. No, I just watch the black screen. So, guys, you're film guys. What do you like?
I mean, we like. I love a Tarantino. I love a Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah.
I'm a big David. I love David Fincher. I'm a big David Fincher fan. That's like The Social Network. Moneyball's not him. Social Network, Seven. You ever seen Seven with Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Oh, Guenther. Yeah. That's a good. I mean,
there's a new movie out. A new with Brad Pitt now and Clooney. Huh? No.
No. It's. Oh yeah, there is.
There is.
Have you seen it yet?
And then there's one with Damon. There's one with Matt Damon and Casey Affleck. That's
Casey
also
Affleck.
All the Ocean's 11 movie guys are making movies together. What about Ocean's 11? You an Ocean's 11 guy? Do you like those movies?
Not really.
Guenther, what about The Sopranos?
The Sopranos is. I like the other one. What is the other one? The Godfather. I like that one better.
Better depiction of Italian Americans.
Yeah. The Godfather is quite good. And what is the other one? The Mafia
Goodfellas.
movie. Goodfellas. Yeah. Goodfellas.
Martin Scorsese is the best one. What about, Scorsese's my guy. What about Wolf of Wall Street?
It's okay. It's okay, but nothing. Yeah, I'm not too. Yeah.
he needs that. He needs that art. You're kind of, you have like an art housey kind of taste there, because Ocean's 11's very kind of like commercial, straightforward commercial. Whereas like Coen Brothers, some of these Tarantinos that you know, they're a little bit more kind of like,
you're more of an art house guy,
jagged, edgy.
They're different. Otherwise, the other ones are boring.
I think that you would love the movie Seven.
Yeah, I need to
It's dark though. It's not like fun. Like some of those Tarantinos.
And if you really like, and if you
funny.
But the first Tarantino, what was that called? His first movie.
It's Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, that is, and the music is good there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when he cuts off the guy's ear while listening to the song, that's a classic.
Guenther likes art house. He would love Titane.
Oh my God, Titane.
A woman has sex with a car in it, Guenther.
Yes, and then she has a car baby.
Have you ever seen Cronin? It's like that movie.
The man was too stunned to speak.
Yeah.
Have you seen Anatomy of a Fall? It was this last year.
No.
I think you might enjoy that one.
Yeah.
I'd be curious what you think of it. It's a French.
You need to WhatsApp me this movie.
We'll text you the names. We'll text you the names.
Exactly.
Seven.
Then I need to find them. Yes, I don't remember my name. Never mind the movie's name. So.
All right. We'll. Hey, in the comments for this episode, let's put together a list of movies that Guenther needs to watch, that Guenther would like. This can be the ending part of the pod.
And what's your favorite? Do you prefer like American movies, Italian movies, German movies, Austrian movies? Is there a language you prefer to?
I think American movies.
Yeah, suck it, Europe.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you're an American citizen. You're just an American guy. Okay. Before we get into our Baku prediction, I want to talk percentage predictions. What percentage chance do you have Lando Norris beating Max Verstappen for this championship? What percentage are you giving it right now?
60-40. I go more. I was 50-50, I think, last time. Now I'm 60-40, Lando.
60-40 Lando.
And not because Lando is good. No, because Red Bull is so bad.
Wow. You think Red Bull will
they were
lose
wanker
this,
of the week. Yeah.
They'll lose this championship more than Lando will win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Right now, Lando plus 135 to win the championship on BetMGM.
That's close to even. That's close to 50-50.
That's 50. Yeah. That's a little bit over. It's 1 to 1.1. If you put $1, you win $1.35. That's what that means. So that's what that is. Okay, Baku's coming up. What are your predictions for Baku? Who do you think's taking it?
Papaya.
Which papaya?
Fucking papaya.
Fucking papaya.
Actually, fucking papaya.
Who?
Who? If Zach doesn't speak with... Zach will speak with Mark Webber, and then Lando will win.
You're hearing it.
Okay, I don't know how to place that bet, though. Okay, so I'm going to say Charles Leclerc, and he's going to continue that momentum, that street track sort of momentum. Well, because I think Ferrari are good on street tracks. He was good in Monaco.
Yeah, but it's a different aero spec. You cannot go with the Monza spec.
Yeah, what's the spec here? Because there's that long, really
high
long
speed,
straight.
high speed, but you still need downforce. So I don't think anybody will risk to take the Monza spec car.
So doesn't that favor Red Bull with the aero efficiency? But there's too many curbs. It's too rough on the car for them to be good.
I think in the moment the Red Bull struggles with everywhere a little bit. They don't have a particularly strong. While fucking Papaya is strong everywhere.
Strong everywhere. They seem to be able to hit those like middle, like it's got a little bit of this, it's got a little bit of that. They seem to always have the package.
When there is a compromise to be taken, they're at their best.
So what's something that about Baku like that people don't know? Like going into a Baku weekend, what's a way that you can like set up a car? Like how are you supposed to set up a car? And then what's a risky? You were just saying like I don't think anyone's going to take the risk. Like what's a riskier way to set up the car? To
be fast on the straight, and because it is not easy to overtake to be fast on the straight and be, I would say, you're never slow with an F1 car, but be slow on the low speed corners. But I don't think that will work out because, in qualifying, when you're on your own, you lose too much time and you qualify bad and you're back there. So I think it's always Baku is to find your perfect aero setup, compromise, call it like this, and then see what the other ones are doing, that you're not out of, the zone, that you're not in your own zone, and then it doesn't work.
Right.
So it's the aero setup is the most important there,
Okay.
how much wing you give it,
That seems to be fucking Papaya's specialty.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the setup. They
always find, they have got a lot of, options,
All right. That's our episode. We got off this next week. This will be in 2 weeks. We'll see you then. And until next time.
We love you, Vankas. Goodbye.
We love you, old wankers. Bye-bye.
Ciao, Vankas.